First off, you'll be shocked to learn that the MR2 didn't start its life as a sports car at all. Its story began way back in 1976 as a small, internal project called Project MIDI. The goal was to create a modern successor to the classic Toyota Sports 800 of the 1960s. The global oil crisis of the late 1970s actually put a pause on the project for a while. So, when it resumed in 1980, they decided on a transverse mid-engined rear-wheel drive layout, which was a pretty radical idea for a mass-produced car from a major manufacturer. Now, let's clear up a popular myth. You might have heard that Lotus designed the MR2, but that's not quite the full story. The core design was all Toyota's work, led by test engineer Akio Yoshida. However, they did bring in some outside help. They hired the renowned Lotus engineer Roger Becker as a consultant. He worked with Toyota to dial in the suspension and handling, and to share Lotus's mid-engine expertise. The American race car driver Dan Gurney also played a pivotal role. He tested early prototypes, providing critical feedback that helped transform the car into a well-balanced sports car. This collaboration showed just how serious Toyota was about creating a credible, world-class driver's car, not just a one-off gimmick.
There's a new game in town. It's called putting the fun back into driving. Introducing the Toyota MR2 sports car. Look out, here I come.
In 1984, the first generation, known by its model code W10, was born. It was a groundbreaking car, becoming Japan's first mass-produced mid-engined vehicle. The design was all sharp angles and a clean, minimalist aesthetic. It weighed around 2,300 pounds, making it incredibly light and nimble. It came with a naturally aspirated 4AGE engine, a 1.6-liter DOHC inline-4 borrowed from the Corolla. This free-revving motor featured 4 valves per cylinder and electronic port fuel injection, and its power varied depending on the market. It made about 112 horsepower in the US and up to 128 horses in the UK. That might not sound like much today, but in a car so light, it was a blast. A slick 5-speed manual was standard, with a 4-speed automatic available as an option. It was an immediate hit with reviewers, who praised its ability to outperform rivals like the Fiat X19 and the 4-cylinder Pontiac Fiero. But wait, it gets better. In 1986, Toyota did something wild and added a supercharger to the mix. This limited model was a true game changer. They didn't just slap a blower on, they gave the engine forged aluminum pistons and lowered the compression ratio. The result was a boost in horsepower to 145 and torque to 140 pound-feet. This turned it into a little rocket, capable of hitting 60 miles per hour in 6.5 seconds. This was more than just a performance upgrade. It was a clear statement that Toyota could offer exotic-level performance at a fraction of the cost, reinforcing the MR2's core identity as the ultimate bang-for-your-buck mid-engine sports car. Here's what I think. Owning a W10 is a true labor of love. As with any classic car, it has its quirks. Rust is a huge concern, as it can hide in dozens of places. Other common issues include battery and alternator corrosion due to rain dripping into the compact engine bay, and on early models, a tendency for the transmission to pop out of fifth gear. But these aren't just problems. They're a rite of passage for MR2 owners. The community forums are full of people helping each other fix these very specific issues, from rusted exhaust studs to alternator belt noise. It's a shared experience that forges a deeper bond between the owner and the car. So, the second generation, the W20, was a total radical transformation. Gone were the boxy, angular lines of the W10. It was larger, heavier, and completely redesigned with exotic, Italian-inspired curves. It had more than a passing resemblance to the Ferrari 348. This new look earned it the nickname Baby Ferrari, and it moved the MR2 upmarket. The car was 245 millimeters longer and 30 millimeters wider than its predecessor, but with a longer wheelbase for a more planted stance. To handle the increased weight, it received more powerful engines. The base engine in Japan and Europe was the 2-liter 3SGE inline-4, which made between 160 and 170 brake horsepower depending on the year. But the real hero, the stuff of legend, was the turbocharged 3SGTE engine. This beast could produce up to 272 horsepower, turning the car into a true performance monster. It's a great piece of design that the chassis was engineered to accommodate the larger 2-liter engine from the start, showcasing Toyota's forward thinking. Now we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the infamous snap-over steer. This is the one thing everyone knows about the W20, and it's a topic that needs to be addressed head-on. The reputation is famous, but it's heavily exaggerated. Here's what it is. It's a characteristic of many mid- and rear-engine cars. If you're cornering fast at the limits of traction and you suddenly lift off the gas, the rear end becomes unweighted and wants to get in front of the car, swinging around like a pendulum. The snap happens when a driver in a panic overcorrects, causing the car to briefly regain traction and then snap in the other direction, leading to an uncontrollable spin. The consensus among the community is that the car is only as dangerous as the driver. The best, most counterintuitive advice is to throttle out to keep the rear wheels spinning and prevent the pendulum effect. This isn't just a technical point, it's a core part of the MR2's identity, a test of a driver's skill. The W20 faced some stiff competition, especially from cars like the MX-5, the Alfa Romeo GTV, and the Fiat Coupe. Later in its life, it even found itself competing with the new Porsche Boxster, becoming one of its only mid-engined rivals. But it was unrivaled in the bang-for-buck stakes, offering exotic looks and performance for a fraction of the price of its rivals. However, as the 1990s came to a close and sports car sales dwindled, it was discontinued in North America after the 1995 model year.
It's here. Introducing the new MR2 Spider. See it at isthistoyota.com.
After a brief break, Toyota brought the MR2 back for a third act, but in a completely different form. This time influenced by the overwhelming success of roadsters like the MX-5 Miata, the BMW Z3, and the Porsche Boxster, the W30 was a pure, purpose-built convertible. It was smaller and even lighter than the original, but it was far less practical. It also had a single engine option, an all-aluminum 1.8-liter 1ZZ FED inline-4 that produced 138 horsepower. You could get it with a 5-speed manual, but a big story at the time was the optional sequential manual transmission, SMT. It was a clutchless gearbox that you shifted with steering wheel buttons or a lever on the console, which was a very new and intriguing idea at the time. The W30 received some hate from purists who felt it was a step backward from the more powerful and practical W20. They called it cute or even girly because of its smaller size and lower power. It also had a very serious and a well-known issue on the pre-2003 models. The catalytic converter in the exhaust manifold could break apart, and bits would be sucked back into the engine, causing catastrophic failure. While the W30 might have been less powerful, it has the best handling of all 3 generations. People who race them can consistently beat much more powerful cars because the handling and cornering is simply that good. Its price is now a point of debate in the community. While some think prices have peaked, others believe they will continue to rise as people discover its potential. It's a particularly compelling option in the autocross community, where the beloved Miata is becoming too old for some classes. The MR2 Spider offers a true mid-engine experience at a price point that's often compared to a Miata, which is an absolutely killer value proposition. The MR2's story officially ended in 2007, but its legacy is still very much alive and well today. The community is incredibly active, with owners' clubs and forums where people share fixes, modification tips, and stories. It's a group of people bonded by a shared passion, and the social side of these clubs is often just as important as the cars themselves. It's a great place to get advice before you buy, or to get help on an ongoing project. Here's what I think. The MR2 is more than just a car. It's a reminder of a time when fun wasn't considered immature. From the W10's pure go-kart feel to the W20's dramatic baby Ferrari presence and the W30's razor-sharp handling, each generation offered a unique, soulful driving experience. It's a car that, with its perfectly weighted steering and sublime throttle response, can turn a boring commute into something truly special. And for me, that is what makes it one of the most incredible and joyful cars ever made. What do you guys think?